We are live, WinDailySports.com, another week for the Bet Like Mike show. My name is Jon Jansen, and the star of the show, as always, Mike North. You can follow him at North and Jon on Twitter. And I got to ask right away, I don't need to waste time here. Did you have any Phil Mickelson bets? Was Phil Mickelson on the radar of Mike North throughout the weekend?
Yes, he was, and I contemplated taking him. And welcome everybody to the show. Look at everything that you got to do. Follow this, follow that, do this, do that. John and Jon Jansen, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow him. Also follow us because I went undefeated this past Friday. Had a good weekend, but I didn't bet Phil. 180 plus 180. I could have matched him up against Brooks Koepka. We'll get to him in a minute. Minus 190. Okay, so Brooks Koepka crapped the bed. Okay, that's what he did.
Yeah, he didn't do well.
Along with everybody else there, it was almost like Tiger Woods' Masters, where nobody else performed. Tiger stayed steady, stayed focused, still had some game, and the same thing goes for Phil. Phil, I don't think I've ever seen him this intense from Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't think I've ever seen him this focused, and this is the part that I love. All the kids out there, all the under 35s, all the under 40s, saw what it takes if you work hard. And I'm not scolding the under 35. What I'm saying to the under 35 people is, you ain't shit. There's people older than you, boys and girls. You ain't shit. I keep seeing on Twitter how it's great to be young and this and that, and we got this and we got that. Like I said to John last week, John will go see the Rolling Stones before any 20-something band. Phil Mickelson whipped up on all the youngins. If somebody wants to talk to me about Brent Musburger, who's 87 years old, oh yeah, me. We do this because we love it. We don't need the money anymore, just like Phil don't need the money anymore. I do this because it's my passion. Phil does it now because it's his passion. He never had trouble with money, but he had trouble with expectations. And Tiger Woods, this was his signature moment, John. This is what makes him heads and tails above anybody else, including Julius Boros, who won a PGA at the age of 48, and Jack Nicholson at the age of 46. This is his baby, not Tiger's, not anybody else's. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson, this is because I know he's had problems, finishing out tournaments and all of that. So I think this just speaks to experience, and yeah, it's just the once in a while he can catch, him feeling great, him in that zone. And he was able to catch it, and he was able to feel good throughout this entire tournament. But it's the experience that didn't let him falter, because everybody, I feel like, was waiting for it. Everybody was saying on Twitter, like, when is this going to be the hole that Phil implodes? But it just never happened. It just seems, the experience and him being there, knowing that, really helped him out at the end of this tournament.
Brooks really did. Got that experience, and other people do. But I heard something. Thank God I didn't hear a lot of this. A couple people said it. And then somebody must have called him and said, shut up. Okay. It said here, Phil Mickelson, I heard this on a couple shows, but nobody else really has repeated it too much. Won against a tougher field than Jack did in 86. I was at both. I seen both. Are you kidding me? You got Louis Oosthuizen as your second guy. You got Brooks Koepka, who supposedly he wants everybody to know that he's hurt. Okay, I'll give you a little bit on him in a minute. Padraig Harrington, who's done. Shane Lowry, Harry Higgs. Let me read. Hey, wait. When Ricky Fowler finishes in the top 10, and he could have finished in the top 5, then it's a crap tournament. And Phil Mickelson won against a weak field. Okay? Here's the field that Jack went against. Oh, it froze on me. Here we go. I got a field that Jack Nicklaus went against, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I need you more than ever now because of them. Nicholas, here's who he went up against in 86. Greg Norman, Tom Kite, Seve Ballesteros, 4th place, maybe the greatest European golfer ever. Nick Price, Tom Watson, who almost won the Open at 59. Payne Stewart, Kelvin Peete, Are you kidding? Ben Crenshaw, Bernard Langer, Curtis Strange. I mean, these guys were Fred Couples. They would have eaten this group, this field alive. Nicholas went up against a tougher field. They had an off week too. Every one of those guys had a bad game out of the 4 days. For instance, Watson, 71, 70, 69, 77. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's give credit to Phil and to Jack. They were the best against any field they want to go. But please don't start that comparison. I mean, Greg Norman would be one of the top money winners again today. And let's talk about the equipment. We found out what Jack Nicklaus would do if he was in his prime with the new equipment. Because Phil Mickelson with the new equipment's out driving 30-year-olds.
Yeah, it is funny to mention equipment too, because Phil Mickelson, he is using a putter that is considered ancient right now. For some reason,
he hits the ball 360.
But the driver and all that. Yes,
one out, kid. You left that one out. The driver is what makes him now. It's what always has made him, plus trick shots and being a great golfer. But my God, when he out hits everybody in the field at 366, that's the equipment too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the comparison everybody's doing right now is the Tiger 2019 Masters to this one for Mickelson. Even that field, that was to me a little bit more impressive, because Tiger Woods, with all of his injuries and everything, he was not supposed to be good in golf again. Like, he was never supposed to win another major, and for him to win the Masters like that against a really good field, that one was impressive.
Well,
I think a little bit more impressive there.
He always had the talent, but he really wasn't going to win again, not only because of physical injuries, because he went off the deep end. Let's face that. I mean, there was 2 things in play with him: his bad injuries and everything else. Phil Mickelson has stayed basically, for the most part, injury-free. I mean, he's going to be 50-1 at the next tournament. I mean, so we'll see what happens. But I want to congratulate him. Another one for the old guys. It's just
and lefty. For all the lefty golfers in the world, there you go. Phil Mickelson's got your back.
Like the radio guys like Mad Dog Russo, Pat Bruno. You got Bruno. Tony Bruno. We have a guy, Pat Bruno, that makes food. He's a food critic in town. He's pretty good too. But Tony Bruno, all the older guys. It's a win for us today. Anyway, let's talk about the NBA.
Yeah.
Great weekend.
Awesome. There was not one bad game this weekend. It was really good.
Hockey's been great. Everything's been great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the problem with the NBA. And they know they have a problem. They're going to try to pass a mid-season tournament, the NBA, because they've lost the regular season for a lot of reasons. Political reasons, treating their customers shabbily at times, not playing people when they're supposed to. I mean, Donovan Mitchell sat last night. Donovan Mitchell sat for the Utah Jazz last night, and it was a late decision decided by the training staff, even though he wanted to play. Bets were already in. They're killing the golden goose there. And now, for what was becoming the most powerful league on earth for its size, the NFL will always be there, is now ashes. I don't care what the ratings are going to be. Yeah, the games mean something. But the fact that you have to have a mid-season tournament, okay, and you're going to play 82 games, or maybe you're going to play 72 or 62 because people have found out about you. You're malingerers. You're lazy. You're worried about your futures 5 years from now. And that's why you're playing a midseason tournament. Larry Bird's rolling over. Well, he's not dead, but he's rolling over today in bed. Magic Johnson. Michael Jordan. Pathetic. You went off the deep end and you have no leadership at the top position. Is there any argument for this, John?
Yeah, I would be interested, because this is more of a European style thing. This has never made its way into American sports. These different kinds of tournaments happening in the middle of the season. So I'll be interested to see. I don't know if it'll work, and it doesn't seem like it will. But if it does, could Major League Baseball adapt something like this? All these leagues that have a really long regular season, if they can adapt something different. Because, yeah, I mean, the thing that with Major League Baseball, with the NBA and the NHL, their playoffs are amazing. But what they can't compete with is the NFL regular season and just the sense of urgency.
Because they only play 16 games.
Well, right, but
If
that's what I mean.
If the NFL played 162 games, we'd shut it off by game 30.
Right. But I guess it's with these mid-season tournaments trying to create that sense of urgency like the NFL
have to please you youngsters about this? Because why has baseball been good for? Why are there billion-dollar franchises? You know why? Because it's been the rule changes, it's been COVID or what have you, but everybody's lost their compass. I mean, when I hear Brooks Koepka say after taking 300 shots over the weekend that during the mob scene, which by the way was cool. Sorry you got you. I might have hurt my knee after you played at 300 shot tournament. You're going to complain about somebody that might have.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the injury is, but he has been essentially playing on one leg, I guess.
And how's he not limping?
I forget what type of injury it is.
No.
But
when you have a bad leg, you limp. You ever fall down? When you have a bad, he don't even limp. He's taped up, and he lets everybody know. Walter Payton told me this. Don't ever let him know you're hurt for two reasons. One, you don't want the opponent to know you're hurt, and two, you want to use it as an excuse. He was minus 190 with those injuries. Period. He choked the gag yesterday, like everybody else.
Yeah, he did do that. Yeah,
he did do that. Now back to Donovan Mitchell. He wanted to play. They told him no. They lose the game. The bettors already put the bets in. I don't care if you have a midseason tournament or not. More people are turned off by what happened last night that they won't publicize. But for that to happen that late, we thought you told me last week we were done with this because it's going to be the postseason now and everybody's going to play.
Yeah, that one I'm not sure about because I guess it becomes the call of the trainers. And, obviously Donovan Mitchell wants to play as a competitor, but, if there's something that came up, maybe in warmups or whatever it might be, I'm not sure. We see game time decisions a lot. This is one I think is a little bit different of a situation. We know Donovan Mitchell's been hurt, and that one's up to the discretion of the trainers. And if they said no.
So was LeBron. So was Davis. We heard Donovan Mitchell was going to play. He had an owie, and the trainers got scared. Michael Jordan was told not to play the whole season after he broke his plantar fasciitis. He came back because he said, I'm not going to sit out. I don't care what the trainers say. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more pushback, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, they went down 1-0. And how about your Phoenix?
They need him.
My God. How do you fit him? I mean, he said he could go. You got to go, but they're into protecting the athlete now too much, in my opinion. You still got to go out and play the game. Now, as far as we're concerned, we had a great weekend. It's time to start and get another weekend going, or another week going. And I'm going to start things off, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the most important thing. I'm afraid to take the NBA right now. But I also want to say this. Miami the other night. Were you surprised they lost that game, first of all, to Milwaukee?
No, I was surprised Milwaukee. I was surprised Miami was able to keep it close. They didn't look like the same Miami team from the finals. I think it just showed Milwaukee kind of looked lost, and Giannis looked terrible in that game. Awful.
Yeah, and Middleton had to make a big shot there.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, you ridiculed the Wizards. You were right in a way, but they didn't cover. The Wizards covered.
I know, by a half a point, too. I know.
Did you go anyway, or did you let your heart take you, John?
No, I stayed away from it. I stayed away from it because the way it's the NBA playoffs have just been going from the start. It's been a lot of underdogs, close games. I wanted to stay away from it from the start. So
I didn't do much with basketball. I'll tell you what's great about golf betting. You put down a matchup, and I'm going to tell you, yesterday I was following two other guys that TV could not follow anymore because they were dreadful. Do you ever put in a matchup bet where the two guys are absolutely horrible and you're praying that your guy is less horrible than the other guy?
No, but I can only imagine. That would be that would be amazing. One guy puts it in the drink and then the guy you have puts it in there right after him.
Who's this guy Bazindadut or whatever his name is? Bazindadut. Who is
I
that
have no
guy?
idea.
Beziohoudt.
Okay. Oh, I have no idea. Yeah,
he finished 12 for 13. If you look at the leaderboard, try to read his name. It's his last name.
Yeah.
He played Brandon Grace. Now, Brandon Grace is a more popular player than Bazindadut, or whatever his name is. Maybe I know Sia will know how to pronounce him. He came in 12th or something, but or they even sunk. He was +5, my guy, and Brandon Grace was +6. And I had as much intensity, thank God, that I won that matchup than for Phil and for Kepka. They're going like this. My buddy goes, "Hey, Phil's looking good." I go, "What's Bazindadut doing?" I don't even know how to pronounce the guy's last name.
That is amazing.
You got his name there, John?
No. Oh, gosh.
On the leaderboard. You got a computer? Are you okay? You had the
yes. No. Just had a little bit of the sneezes. Allergies. No,
help me out here. You're the young guy. Come on. It's called PGA Open leaderboard.
Yes, I'll look for it. I cannot promise.
The top 12.
Did he fit
20
scores?
Bazandagoop.
I don't even know if I'll be Christian. It's yes. Bezuiden. Bezwadenhout.
I don't even know how to pronounce the guy's last name.
Was that? Oh, here we go.
Look at my guy.
Bezaidenhout.
No, I take the Bazundadoot guy.
That is amazing.
That's Brandon Grace.
That is amazing.
+5 and one's +6. And I'm having a corner because I have quite a bit of change on it anyway. Thank you, Sia.
What a name that is.
Supposed to be with all this stuff. These are all young guys.
I cannot pronounce that name.
I can't even pronounce Trevino. And let me back in the day. All right, pal. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
The best 5 minutes is the ones that's left. It's the one that wins you money, ladies and gentlemen. The first game, I got 3 games. How many games you got today?
I got a couple. I only have a couple, nothing too big.
Where I come from, that's 2. Sometimes a few is 3.
A couple is 2, yeah.
Yeah, I got a few.
I'm one of those. When I say a couple, I mean 2, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some people say I got a couple.
And it's like 3 or 4. Yeah, that doesn't.
That's exactly right. I got Miami tonight plus the 4.5. I think that Jimmy Butler was just okay. I think that the team, I was very surprised. They should have won that game maybe. It's an up and flows. Giannis is so good, but I like Miami plus the 4.5, my friend.
I'm going to stick with baseball here. This is a spot that we really love, at least for me. And it's hard to bet the money line, so I'm going to go the run line. The White Sox are favored by a 1.5. I'm taking that at plus 115. Lance Lynn on the mound. They're facing a left-handed pitcher. White Sox, great against lefties. I like the White Sox in the run line.
All right, they're great against lefties, but Mike gave it to Yankees against a lefty on Friday night.
Yes, yeah, that was a good call.
Yeah, they were, but they're like 25-2. My system gave it to me. They may be great against lefties, but it shows me again today with the run line plus the 1.5 at minus 130. I'm taking the St. Louis Cardinals in that game. I know they're coming home. They just took a beating in New York, which is nothing to be ashamed of. White Sox team's been getting swept in New York for a long time. So have a lot of people. New York's got it together, but I'm taking the St. Louis Cardinals minus the 130 plus the 1.5, and then I'll have one more.
Yeah, I'm going to go with John Means on the mound today against Minnesota.
I like him.
Yeah, for some reason, Minnesota's this is a pretty much an even money matchup. It's minus 109 for Baltimore, minus 107 for the Twins. Matt Shoemaker on the mound for Minnesota, but Minnesota's just not good. They're a really bad team. So I'll take Means at that price for sure. Absolutely.
That's a good pick. In fact, I like that read that you have there today. I was looking at it earlier. Let's just check real quick here. We got a few seconds here. What we look like here on Baltimore. Not bad. Yeah.
Both teams are 17-29, but Means with an ERA sub 2, and Matt Shoemaker is an ERA over 6. So I don't know. I think
Matt Shoemaker, I bet him already this year. Believe me, it takes a lot of guts to bet him. My last one. Well, believe me, I'd rather try to climb Mount Everest with gym shoes than bet Matt Shoemaker. All right. Wouldn't last long. Montreal minus 180 on the puck line tonight against Toronto. So I'm taking Montreal minus 180 plus 1.5. I'm taking St. Louis plus 1.5 minus 130. And Miami in NBA plus 4.5. And you have your 2 games tonight. Who are they again, my friend?
It is the White Sox on the run line at plus 115, and then also the Orioles money line minus 109.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank, of course, everybody from Win Daily Sports. We thank all the guys there. They do a great job. We keep we thank all you for listening. The numbers have been great. We appreciate that very much. Johnny, as usual, we got
the greatest wave in all of live streaming.
Oh, you know what? It's almost as good. No, it's not. I'm not that old yet. So long, everybody.